A very good evening to you, Mr. Yatsenyuk.
Thanks for having me.
As you listen there to the President, and he's not talking directly about Russia at the moment, but he has in the past, but talking about America's military might and the increase in its military might. Let's apply this to your own country. Would you like to have seen and like to see America get more involved with, in your view, protecting Ukraine from Russian influence?
Well, I have no doubts that the United States is to lead the free world. You know what I was astonished with? When your Prime Minister paid the visit to the United States, she delivered an amazing speech at GOP retreat and in DC. So the speech was crafted as the speech of the global leader that stick to the values of the free world. And that's really great that you have some kind of good relations with the United States because, you know, frankly speaking, everyone is a little bit concerned.
But then, I mean, you mentioned the May visit, Theresa May's
Yep.
visit to there, and then in the press conference, she tied Donald Trump in to a full commitment to NATO.
Absolutely, and this was amazing. This was for the first time when President Trump never mentioned an obsolete word towards NATO. And his State of the Union that he delivered to the joint session of Congress was very presidential and I believe was straightforward. So going back to the issue of the US might, the US is to lead the free world. And let me remind you that the United States and the United Kingdom signed a Budapest Memorandum, which is a notorious one, when Ukraine decided to relinquish the third biggest nuclear arsenal. The United States, the United Kingdom, and Russia, they co-sponsored and signed the memorandum, which protected the borders and territorial integrity and provided the guarantees for the territorial integrity of Ukraine. So in the end, Russia violated this memorandum. Russia illegally annexed Crimea and sent their troops to Donetsk and Lugansk. This is the east of Ukraine. So we strongly rely on the United States and on the United Kingdom in the support of Ukrainian people. We do believe that we have to protect the world because Russia is an adversary to you, to the US, and to us.
But if you're describing a betrayal of Ukraine by the United States and others, that was not this administration. That was under President Obama.
Look, President Obama and his administration did a lot. They were standard bearers of sanctions against Russia. Together with the United Kingdom and Canada, they sent military to train and equip Ukrainian military to make it much more durable. And frankly speaking, Ukrainian military is practically the only one in the world that deterred Russian troops. We constantly ask for the defensive weapon, and this is an issue right now for us, as Russians spend billions of dollars to modernize its military and to equip its military. And for today, Russia posed a threat to Ukraine and to NATO, for example, to Baltic states. So I do believe that we need to act in concert.
So you would like some of that technology that Donald Trump is talking about? Would this just not escalate what is a relatively low-level war? Would this not take it up to the next step?
Could I quote your Prime Minister?
Feel free.
She was very clear saying that we need to talk with Russia only in case if we are stronger from the strong standpoint. So the stronger we are, the better deal we can get.
So do you get a sense from the Trump administration, given what we've already discussed about the conflicting messages on Russia, on America's view globally, whether it defends itself or whether it defends, as you described it, the free world, apply that to Ukraine? Do you get a clear, coherent message from the White House, for instance, about the annexation of Crimea? Donald Trump has said that he would perhaps recognize that annexation.
It was before he was elected as the President of the United States. So the good news is that a few weeks ago, President Trump tweeted, this is the most reliable source of information, his tweets, that Russia illegally annexed Crimea. So President Trump already recognized that Russian Federation illegally annexed Crimea. I was in Munich and Vice President Pence delivered a perfect speech when he was very clear on Russia, on Ukraine, And he was very clear that it's of crucial importance for the free world to stand by the Ukrainian people. The same goes with General Mattis, who is Secretary of Defense, Rex Tillerson, US envoy to the United States. So it seems to me that we are on the same page. And I do believe that the United States will follow the same policy as the previous administration followed.
But you genuinely believe, and I want to refer it back, there we have, and clearly that aircraft carrier was commissioned by the Obama administration. They can't put something like that together in 5 or 6 weeks. Do you firmly believe that things will change then now, that America's build-up, America's military build-up, as Donald Trump has announced, is not just about protecting narrow American interests, that they will still defend the free world, including Ukraine?
There is no other option. You know, if America goes toward isolation, this would be the end of this free world. The US is the bedrock of the global security, and the US is the bedrock of the alliance. So the only option we have on the table is to stay united.
But you must be tremendously worried then, because as we discussed, we are hearing such conflicting
we are living
things.
In the new reality.
The vice president says one thing, the president says another.
We heavily rely on the United States system. So this is a long-lasting democracy with the checks and balances. And probably this is the wishful thinking, but I do believe in US democracy. Let's take some time. Let's give some time to the President of the United States. Once again, his administration is on the right side. He already recognized that Russia illegally annexed Crimea. And he is to realize that the stronger America is, the stronger NATO is, the more security for the American people he can bring.
Mr. Yatsenyuk, very good to see you. Thank you very much indeed for your time. We really
sir.
appreciate that.